Alright, the Tarkov wipe is upon us and has brought some interesting things. Streets got an expansion, making that map even more of a maze, but it also got a new scav boss, resulting in roughly the same quality of living as Los Angeles. A few new weapons were added, ranging from utterly terrifying but mostly useless due to the fact that it weighs 9,000 pounds. And then we have easily the funniest freaking thing I have used in a video game in a long time. Seriously, the double barrel is absolutely hilarious and surprisingly effective. But that's a video for another time. Today we are going to be talking about the newly added SVT and AVT. Starting off with the SVT, this thing is easily one of the greatest additions to Escape from Tarkov for the more casual player. It has taken the spot that was held so long ago by the VPO 101 as the rat cannon of choice. It's just really freaking good. This thing is going to serve as the great equalizer between the level 20 Timmy, who's still looking for his gas analyzers a month into the wipe, and the level 71 Mega Sweat, who's had Kappa since day 3. This thing is available at level 2 proper and is literally just a semi-automatic Mosin, which is fantastic because using the Mosin has led to some of the most brain rot inducing moments I have ever had in this game. Like, genuinely, what the hell is going on in this clip? Despite being a semi-automatic Mosin, this thing is alarmingly cheap, coming in at about 55,000 rubles. And if you are willing to spend roughly 12 to 13,000 more, you unlock the Mosin PU site, and this thing just becomes an absolutely devastating DMR. With one taps that are ultra satisfying, this thing shines at medium to long range. Now you might ask, well, the SKS has been around for a while and has always filled that early game DMR. Why would I use the SVT over the SKS? And the main reason is ammo. 7.62x54R is absolutely terrifying. LPS GZH is available early on, is relatively cheap, has over 40 pen, and does over 80 damage. Hell, if you want the cheaper option, T46 still does over 80 damage and has over 40 pen. These two rounds are not that expensive, but are utterly terrifying. Compare that to 7.62x39 PS, which only has about 35 pen, which is still pretty solid early on, but its damage drops down to 55. Now, that might not seem like a huge difference due to the fact that they both still 2-tap to thorax, but the difference is if you hit a limb with 7.62x54, that limb is gone. So you might not have killed that person instantly, but you have left them limbless and filled with a sense of impending doom for when the next round is gonna find their cranium. Ultimately, this thing combines the raw power of the Mosin with the more forgiving nature of the SKS. And that can come in handy quite often. Let's say for a moment you're just walking in the middle of nowhere in woods, not really paying attention because you're listening to like Critical Role or something, I don't know. And all of a sudden you get ambushed by 3 other players. Not only is it incredible at range, it's terrifying up close as well. The bad news is, is that the iron sights, they aren't the best. They're really not that great. Also, the PU sight is the only sight you can actually put on this thing. So up close, you're gonna have to learn to point shoot in order to be really effective. The good news is 7.62x54R doesn't care if the enemy is 150 meters away or 5 meters away. It will still hit like a freight train. I've probably gotten more kills firing from the hip than I have from ADSing. Even on Factory, a map that really doesn't seem like it would support a high-powered DMR, this thing can be a menace. Speaking of menaces on Factory and up close, let's talk about the AVT. The AVT is the SVT, but with a speed addiction. It's not ideal for medium to long ranges. You can't even put a PU scope on it, thank God. And if you're using it at medium range, it's really only effective in semi-auto, and at that point, you might as well just have an SVT. This thing is a wood chipper up close though. With the SVT, it was important to kind of remain calm and collected and place your shots, and this thing is the perfect tool for when you just need to panic. You can choose to ADS and then just rip the mouse down as you pull the trigger, which is strangely effective, or you could just follow the point shooting method, which really does complement the panicky oh shit playstyle that this thing just really supports. Now, should you use the AVT? Take it from someone who has a lot of experience with both of these weapons already, maybe a bit too much experience. You probably should not use the AVT. The SVT is going to serve you better overall. Being honest, the sprays that you use with the AVT, you only have 15 rounds, and you fire them at 750 rounds per minute. So most of the time, it just kind of comes down to luck. But there was no skill in this kill whatsoever. The SVT with the PU scope is just a more versatile, more well-rounded, more usable weapon. And really, you should stick to that thing because it's really good at long range, it's pretty good at medium range, and it's still really powerful at short range. So the AVT is just a hyper niche weapon. Is it really freaking good in that niche? Yes. If you're gonna be doing custom dorm runs and just want a dumb weapon, this thing will do fine. But for almost every other application where you're going to need a more serious, more valid weapon, the SVT is the way to go. Either way, both of these weapons will serve you well. Just remember, they can't save you from getting Tarkov. Alright, well, that's gonna wrap up this video. I am now fully moved in and should hopefully be back to uploading Tarkov content on a semi-regular basis, so that should be fun. Yeah, I guess that's all I have. Just thank you so much for watching, especially all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed.